So today we are going to talk about Twitter for beginners. As you know, Twitter is becoming more and more important, and the more important it is to be strategic as soon as you enter the platform. And today I will give you first a brief overview over all the functions of Twitter, and then we will also talk about what it is that is specifically important about Twitter or how you can increase your followers fast. So if you are up for that, then stay tuned. So a brief overview over who I am. My name is Stephanie. I run a platform that is called Career Conversations, or Career Conversa 1 on Twitter if you want to follow me. And a while ago I started a podcast. And I never grew any followers on Twitter until I became really strategic about my Twitter strategy. And then it just spiked and everything just went uphill from there. And ever since then, I got so excited about the power that you get and the reach that you get when you understand different social media platforms. So this is what this channel is all about. And if you want more advice like this, then hit subscribe and also hit the little bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Okay, you're a beginner on Twitter. What do you want from Twitter? Why are you here? Probably you want to grow your Twitter somehow and not only just observe, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. So there are a few things that you need to become aware of before you even want to start. And the most important thing is to become aware of the value that you're offering to your followers. Because as soon as you're aware of what it is that you have to offer to people, why they should be following you, then you can communicate it to them. And then you can also use this value and add it into every single one of your tweets and be a lot more specific, because being specific helps you to get found on Twitter and to grow a following on Twitter. People also often call it to niche down, which is something that deserves a whole other video to be discussed, why it is worth to be niching down in the beginning. So there are a few things that you are in control of in your Twitter. The one thing is your Twitter profile and how appealing it is. And on the other hand, you have your tweets and how appealing they are. And you also have a search functionality. So you might also be able to specifically find people that are interested in what you have to say. And we are going to dive into all three of those. So Twitter profile, how to tweet, and how to find your specific followers. So we will go straight into my Twitter so that I can show you all of the functions very quickly. So here we are on the start, or on the, what would you call it, landing page or homepage. And this is where you can see all the people that I subscribe to and what they have been tweeting in the past. Obviously, it's very easy if you want to tweet. Either you click here and type something and say tweet, or you press here and then the same thing comes up and you just type something and then you can tweet it. Now, one question that I'm getting very often is, how do I come up with enough content? And the answer is you batch your content. So for instance, now that we are here in this Twitter or in this tweet window, one thing that you can do is when you have written a tweet, you just click X and then it asks you if you want to save the tweet. And now the tweet is saved. So next time we go to tweet, we go to unsent tweets, and then you can see here the example tweets. So this allows you, for instance, very often I come up with content while I'm listening to podcasts, and then I come up with like 5 tweets within 1 hour. So this is a great way to save your tweets and send them in case you don't have anything of interest to say. The next question that people often ask me is, how often should I tweet? So the answer is, it doesn't really matter. If you tweet more often, more people will see it, more people will follow you, and the faster you will grow. But at the same time, if you're sending out low quality tweets, nobody is going to engage with you and you're not going to grow. So it is always quality over quantity. Another thing that you can also do is, when we go back to the unsent tweets, again, you tweet something and then you go here to this little calendar and you schedule your tweet for whatever it is. You say confirm, and then in theory, if I wanted to schedule it for this day, I would say schedule, and then the tweet would be sent out later. This also ensures that you only have to deal with Twitter once per week if you are busy and if you're using it professionally, and you're sending out tweets like every day without you actually having to be on the platform. So now that was tweeting. Let's go to some other functionalities. For instance, here is the notification function. And one very neat thing is that You have all the notifications, so this includes the likes, the retweets, and the replies. And you have only the mentions or the replies. And this is a function that I personally find very handy, because if you grow, then you get a lot of notifications. So I actually don't really look at the all notifications thing, because I'm not really that interested in who has liked my tweets. And instead I only go to the mentions and see what I have to reply to. And this way it is easier for me to get an overview and to reply to questions that are relevant. One thing that you might have done already is that you have followed a lot of people. There are lots of people that give advice in terms of if you just follow a ton of people, they will follow you back and you will get a lot of followers, and this is not good advice. And in this video I explain why. But if you have followed a lot of people and don't really know who is really relevant for you to follow, there is a very, very neat thing that is called lists. So if you don't want to unfollow people immediately, but just really figure out, like, put people into a priority section, then you can create a list. Or you can also, so if you realize, okay, there are those 3 people that keep tweeting awesome things, I'd like to be notified or particularly notice all of their tweets, then you put them into a list, and you can do this right here. Again, let's go back. Here is this little list, obviously, with a plus. Then you go to new list, you give it a name, and you add people. At the same time, there are lots of people who have already done this, who have created lists that are helpful for you. For instance, you can see here in this Discover New Lists, there are lots of people that have already created lists around academia, and academia is a topic that I am quite interested in. And in theory, I could just go to this list and follow the list, and this way I would get great academic input. And people have already pre-sorted it. It is a little bit like playlists that people have created on Spotify. So if you don't know who to follow, those lists are a great way to start and to be exposed to lots of interesting people easily. One reason why I really, really like Twitter is that you have this awesome retweet function. As I have explained in the beginning, in Twitter or on Twitter, you kind of talk to the whole world, which means that if you send out a tweet, everyone can say, oh, this tweet is interesting. Let's show it to my followers. So they retweet it, and then their tweet is going to show up in their timeline and will be exposed to all of their followers. And sometimes this is, or most of the time it is great, because most of the time people are really, really supportive. Sometimes it is not so great when you're getting a shitstorm and people are retweeting your stuff and calling you bad names. But yes, if you don't have a lot to say yet, or if you don't dare to tweet yet, it is also a great way to just retweet interesting things, because your retweets are also going to be interesting to your followers. There are actually big accounts that have only grown because of their retweet functionality. So yes, if you don't dare to tweet yet and just want to tip your toes into Twitter, then retweeting other people is a great way to create some content or to provide your followers with some interesting content. Okay, now before you do anything on Twitter, you need to create a profile. I have a whole video about what makes a profile great, which I will link right here. And I will quickly go through it, but really watch this video, because it's going to be really, really helpful for you, and you will understand a lot better what it is that makes an attractive profile and what it is that makes people follow you. So in my opinion, very important is your profile picture, and it should include a face, because people just interact a lot more with faces than with logos or whatever. Then you should use a header image that gives people a very brief idea what your profile is all about. So I think it should include a tagline and some picture that is somewhat associated with the content that you're going to provide. You have your bio, which should be very quick and precise. And you can include hashtags that are also associated with whatever it is that you are providing, or the content that you are providing, because hashtags help Twitter to categorize you. So Twitter is going to show your account to a selected amount of people. It is not going to show your account to everyone. So in order for Twitter to know what your content is about, and therefore who might be interested in your content, it needs to be able to categorize you. And hashtags are a way to help Twitter put you into a certain category. There are pinned tweets, which I find super important. So tweets have a shelf life of maybe 24 or 48 hours, and then usually they lose engagement very, very quickly. So if you've tweeted something that is particularly awesome and that you want new followers to see, even though your tweet might have been like 4 weeks old or 6 months old or something, you can pin it to your profile. In this way, everyone who is going to visit your profile will see this tweet first. And I recommend to have a tweet that, again, shows people on a silver platter why it is worth following you. It can include a video because this way it is interesting for people and they will click on it, and then you have them, you know, in your own world or in your own galaxy, and people are, if they have watched a video of you and liked you, then they are a lot more likely to also follow you. Now, also very important, you have the search functionality, and Twitter has the most advanced search functionality. LinkedIn also has a very advanced search functionality, but Instagram is nothing compared to Twitter. Twitter is really awesome for that. And the reason why you need a good search function is because you want to find people that are creating similar content to you so that you can engage with their followers and therefore grow your own following. But this is, I know, only scratched the surface of this right now. If it is confusing, then it is no surprise, because if you want to know how to grow more followers with this concept, then watch this video. In a nutshell, the more precise you can be in your search, the more likely it is that you will grow followers that are interested in your content and that will engage with your content. So let me quickly show you how advanced the search functionality really is. So let's just type in test, and then up here you can go to, this thing is blocking it, to advanced search. And then you can see here all of the things that you can search for. So if you know what kinds of followers you have, you can, well, either search for all of these words like test, the search function, or, you know, you can search for a specific phrase. For instance, if you know someone has tweeted a certain phrase and you cannot find this tweet, then you can put this phrase right here. Or you know you want to retrieve a tweet from someone where you know they have tweeted something you're interested in on Christmas 2 years ago. Then you will put in their Twitter handle here and you will put in the dates between then and then. So you can look for tweets. For instance, if you're interested in search function and you want a tweet that has a minimum of 10 replies and 50 likes and let's say 15 retweets. Let's search for a tweet that has that. And then you can find Björn. And so as you can see, Twitter is super advanced in their search function, and this makes it very, very easy to target your specific customers of interest or your specific target audience or whoever it is. So don't miss out on it, because most people don't even know about it. So those are the 3 main features that are, in my opinion, most important for beginners if you want to grow your Twitter. And if you want a little extra hack, then also you can figure out how to structure your tweets in order to get maximum engagement with your tweets. And for this I have my 3-step tweet formula, in case you haven't heard about it yet. And you can get my 3-step tweet formula when you click on the link in the description box below. And then you can type in your email address and a PDF with the formula will be sent straight to your inbox. So don't miss out on that. And what it does, like I said, is to really help you structure your tweets so that you get a maximum of engagement out of them. Also, by the way, let me know in the comments below why you want to grow on Twitter, because I'm so curious to see why people create a Twitter profile in the first place, and also why they want, what it is that they have to offer, what value they have to offer, and why do you want to grow? I'm very, very curious, so let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter as Career Conversa1, and subscribe on YouTube, give this video a like, because engagement always helps with the YouTube algorithm, also with the Twitter algorithm. And with this, take good care of yourself, and I hope you enjoy more of the videos. Bye.